According to the Chinese horoscope, 2019 will be under the guidance of Yellow Pig, a soft and quite logical creature that sacredly preserves the family comfort and tranquility. Home comfort and security are the main aspects to concentrate on in the upcoming months. Yellow Pig is unlikely to be strict toward anyone who will continue to work in an attempt to form emergency supplies. You should be prudent not only in relation to financial issues but also in relation to personal relationships. Appreciate good things, give back, and surround loved ones with affection, warmth and care. As a reward, Pig will surely provide with you spiritual comfort and a sense of harmony. A rat represents the energy of yang and the element of water. In 2019, representatives of this Chinese Zodiac sign will enjoy special privileges because the pig, the patron of this cycle, also belongs to the water element. Moreover, the pig is in the fourth triangle of the Eastern Zodiac and is directly opposite the rat belonging to the first triangle. Such an outrageous dualism plays in the favor of your zodiacal sign and will result in active developments in such things as thoughts, deeds, intentions and in their embodiment. The intelligence and idealism which characterize rats will come in handy during 2019. Representatives of your zodiac sign will have to solve many interesting puzzles, mainly in relation to the scope of work and self-realization. This is especially important for rats who do not own their own business. In this context, the pig does not recommend leaving things just after starting, but to finish everything. The results are guaranteed to surprise rat if it does not surrender to the difficulties. If we are talking about a person who has his own business, regardless of the field, 2019 you require you to work hard, especially on yourself. There will not be any difficulties because the circumstances themselves will prompt you to the points to be reviewed first. But regarding the discipline among employees and working infrastructure, there is no need to change anything in radical ways, at least not immediately. Otherwise, you may easily stumble upon unwanted consequences. In general, from the point of view of finance, the year 2019 will be exceptionally successful for the rat. This success will be primarily explained by the fact that rat is a hardworking, sociable and insightful sign. These three qualities should be taken into consideration when concluding contracts and transactions of any scale, from buying a new thing in the store to the decision to merge companies. Stubbornness will also bring some benefits as well as the inherent ability to win any undercover battles. In this sense, the year 2019 will be a very interesting period for the rat. From the perspective of the sphere of love, rat should wait for something new in 2019. It is hard to define the exact event as a lot depends on a person's individual characteristics. There is no doubt that the rat will have enough strength for everything and everyone, for their loved ones, for their friends and for their better halves. Moreover, the most amazing thing is that you will have a little left for yourself as well. Pig recommends radiating joy and positive emotions without restriction. The more positive emotions the rat exudes, the better it is. It is not necessary to start digging deeper into yourself or reconsidering certain life choices, as you may end up suffering from a severe depression. If something does not work out, you can definitely find another option in the year of Pig. In 2019, many rats will make an important step. Some of you will finally attract the attention of the object of your interests, some of you will finally propose to their better halves, and some of you should expect an addition to the family. The most popular outcome is a wedding. You should not concentrate on tendencies or on anything related to someone else's desires. The rat should be guided only by its own motives, whatever they may be, but those motives, let us be honest, do not consider other people's interests at all. It is only necessary to pay special attention to one's health as this is something that cannot be neglected. The most likely risks are all kinds of colds, but quality footwear and warm clothing will help you cope with them. In addition, the pig recommends keeping the windows shut during the coldest weeks of the seasons. If the rat doubts something, especially in the second half of the year, then let him remind himself that he has qualities as important as charisma. Many situations can be resolved in 2019 with the power of a smile. The ox represents the elements of the earth, the energy of yin and the second triangle of the Eastern Zodiac system. In the cycle patronized by the pig, the representatives of the sign of the zodiac ox will become a benchmark that everybody will look toward. They will be the guarantor of justice and confidence not only for others, but also for themselves. Bulls will be trusted, and will often take a leadership position, even if you did not ask for it, and therefore assume special responsibility. But this responsibility won't act as a restriction. Instead, it will bring some opposite value, the opportunity to make 2019 a truly bright, unforgettable and fruitful stage for as many people as possible. Bulls are persistent, and this quality will be useful to you in 2019, especially for those who have their own business. Pigs are encouraged not to surrender in front of difficult situations, but rather keep on fighting right until the end. However, you should fight not in a straightforward and confrontational manner that is generally loved by the representatives of your sign, but instead with original solutions that others simply did not think of. This will give an incredible result and guarantee a longed-for victory on several fronts. If we are talking about the bull, who does not have his own business, he will need modesty and patience in addition to diligence. However, you should seek the opportunity to find yourself in some more prestigious position. After all, modesty can come in different forms, and if a person does not recognize his victories and talents, it is just stupidity. The bull definitely has something to be proud of, and there will be even more opportunities to be proud in 2019. The main thing is not to forget about your purpose. In the end, you can switch jobs. The year of pig is perfectly suited for that. The bull's financial situation will be dynamic in 2019, as well as throughout this extraordinary period. This means that income will be decent, but you should not allow money to stay by your side for too long. The most important investments are those that will give a result right now, or in the very near future. In addition, the pig recommends pampering yourself, for example by buying a quadcopter that you've been dreaming of for a long time, or going out to dinner with your better half and choosing a fine dining restaurant. Such things will charge you with extra positivity and give the opportunity to work with increased zeal. The bull does not tend to relax, so it is unlikely that a sweet life will spoil you, at least certainly not during this period. From the point of view of personal relations, in the year of the pig, the bull must stay true to himself regardless of the circumstances. Situations can develop in very different ways, and there will be many opportunities to achieve the desired by allowing yourself to lie a bit. Success will come for sure, but the bull will not forgive himself for not being truthful if he acts dishonorably. This means that it will be much easier to find some other option, especially since the circumstances will be on your side. It is now generally worth it to look around as much as possible because luck can be awaiting you at almost every turn in 2019. This applies to those bulls intending to get rid of their loneliness by finding someone who will be worth sacrificing for and giving a lot of themselves for. In general, the bulls should not defer from being responsible under any case. If people are ready to follow you, you simply have to do everything in your grasp to lead them to victory. This period will open many doors to the bulls, and they do not even have to kick those doors out as per usual. There will be a lot of acquaintances and some new things to be impressed with. The second half of 2019 will turn into a time when the bulls will discover many new things in themselves, will learn a lot and become better. Tigers, who represent the elements of the tree and reside in the third triangle of the Chinese Zodiac, will have the chance to try on himself the role of Julius Caesar. In other words, he will be able to keep up with anything whenever needed. The tiger sign corresponds to the active male energy of Yang, and it means the absolute connection with a common energy flow in the year of the pig. The only problem will be choosing the opportunity to chase after. All of them will look so attractive and so attainable. Pig advises to try yourself in everything. The possibility of making a mistake is very low because the tiger feels at home in any field. In 2019, the representatives of your independent and sincere sign will find the application of all their innovative ideas. For tigers who have their own business, this cycle is ideal from the point of view of total modernization of production, the usage of the latest technological achievements, and any high-tech innovations. If there are doubts, you can always ask for advice. There will definitely be someone nearby who will help you make the right decision. But do not forget that the tiger, like many other signs of the Chinese horoscope, asks for advice only if he wants to find confirmation for his own conclusions. This means that the choice has already been made, and you can be confident in being right. If we are talking about those tigers who work in a corporation or industry, we understand they will have to use all their talents, especially the passion, energy, courage and the ability to motivate not only themselves but also others. This will be necessary not because the period will be difficult, but because 2019 will be full of opportunities for career growth and higher income. However, in order to get the maximum benefits, you will have to find a non-standard solution. You can even take someone to your team. This will give you even more advantages over your competitors. In this regard, The year 2019 of Pig will be especially important for tigers who work as freelancers or are engaged in something similar with minimal regulations and lack authority of others. They will be able to make a very important, or, we can even say, fateful, step. Perhaps they will start their own business or maybe just move on to a new professional level. In any case, Pig recommends you to change accordingly and embrace those changes fully. The aforementioned tendencies of the year will remain in force in the sphere of personal relationships. However, they will be altered a bit. For example, lonely tigers are recommended to pay special attention not to the object of their interest, if there is one, but rather to themselves. Thus much will become clear and much will change in the most positive way. For tigers with families, the opposite advice is just right. Do not stress yourself but try to communicate with people surrounding you in the most active and the closest ways. This will not only provide food for thought but will also allow for the establishment of some new important contacts. General advice for the year of Pig for the tigers is not to neglect the opinion of loved ones, and parents should take special care of the desires of their children, even if at first glance they seem frankly insane or frivolous. Pig reminds that kids can also be right, and this rule is especially applicable to periods like this. In terms of health, the 2019 Pig will bring the tigers hardly any anxiety. Perhaps there will be some exacerbation of chronic problems, but only during the appropriate seasons and only due to personal carelessness. So do not forget about your sores, no matter how good everything seems to be. No serious problems are expected in other areas. In addition, Tiger should use his natural propensity towards humanity and generosity because these qualities will help you achieve a desired end much faster than originally thought. Rabbit represents the tree element and is in the fourth triangle of the Eastern zodiacal horoscope. The patron the year, the pig, belongs to the same triangle, and she represents the water element. And how do water and tree compare? Water gives the tree strength so that it can develop, which is why the year of Pig will be successful in relation to the Chinese Zodiac rabbit. The kind and sensitive, but also opportunistic, sign of rabbit will benefit from almost any situation should he desire so. Moreover, now you can even cheat a little. The pig will not mind if you are doing it with good intentions. From a business perspective, the year 2019 will be successful for rabbit for several reasons. First, they will now give seedlings to crops of past periods, which rabbit himself probably has already forgotten. This will bring material benefits and will give an incentive to keep on moving. Secondly, the circumstances in the first third of the year will push rabbit to the greatest activity. This is a good time to change the position, or even the place, of work in order to modernize the whole production. Specifics of the changes will depend on the position that rabbit occupies in the hierarchy of his company. Innovation is welcome, although you should not trust opinions from the outside under any circumstance. Roughly speaking, it is advisable to visit the production site, the one where this machine is already functioning, in person to make sure that this machine is effective before actually installing that machine. A note about attention to detail and the need to make personal decisions applies to those rabbits who do not have their own business. 2019 is successful for laying the foundation for some large-scale projects. You can even organize your own personal venture. But then another trend of the year comes into effect. This trend is a desire for cooperation. This means that the most successful will be those areas where rabbit will not have to act alone, but where he will intentionally gather a whole team that will lead to success. In this case, rabbit does not have to be the one driving. He will be quite good in assuming the role of the gray cardinal, especially if there is an excellent candidate for the position of captain, and the pig is sure that there is one. You just have to look around carefully. In the sphere of personal relationships, the year 2019 will turn into an unforgettable one. In the year of the pig, one can boldly try to reach out for the most unthinkable horizons. Aside from the rabbit in the year of the pig, only tiger will be as successful on all fronts. However, the rabbit has to look out for some peculiarities. The rabbit should not focus on people who do not want his help. In no case should you solicit and pull anyone over to your side, even if it is obvious to everyone that this is the best option. The answer no is simply the answer no. It is better to spend your efforts and time on someone who really wants to change. In this regard, rabbit will present a lot of good things and light to his relatives, and this trend should be kept as long as possible because he will be reminded of this in the future. The year of the pig is also good for extending your family. Those rabbits who finally decide to take this important and responsible step will be happy and should not be afraid of anything. Of course, Do not forget about mindfulness and place the basic family values ahead of everything else. This means that if, for example, Rabbit does not have time to give to his family and friends, it is necessary to choose a family over anything else without any doubt. For your zodiac sign, the key trends of the period will become evident at the very beginning of the year, so there will be hardly any difficulties. Do not overdo anything, you won't have any critical issues with the availability of time. If there are doubts, it is worth asking for help from the older generation. The ancestors, in the most general sense of the word, can and should become a solid base for moving forward and overcoming ambiguous situations in 2019. Those born in the year of the dragon belong to the elements of the earth and represent the first triangle of the Chinese horoscope. Pig, the patron of 2019, is the element of water and the fourth triangle that is antagonistic to the first. As a result, the year 2019 will turn into a dynamic and fundamental one. In other words, any of your words and actions will lead to immediate consequences and results that can easily change something or someone. An energetic and self-confident dragon should focus on two of his qualities in 2019, his intellect and his passion. It would seem that these features are mutually exclusive in many situations and aspects, but the dragon quite successfully combines them throughout his life, and this unique skill will reach its climax right now. As you know, great power carries a great responsibility, but fortunately the patron of 2019 will be supportive of the dragon and will favor his honest and frank impulses. If the dragon is facing a situation in which confidence leaves him, he should not surrender in any case. It is not the best option to stay in the same spot because it is not only your own destiny that depends on your actions. Progress in everything is the motto of the dragon for the year of the pig. Just do not go too deep into the causes of such events. If something good and meaningful is happening, does it really matter why is it happening? After all, you can get disappointed by discovering the answer. Dragons with personal ventures should act cautiously during this year in order to benefit. In addition, rechecking all your opportunities before making the next step forward can slow you down, but it will protect you from mistakes that will turn into something critical for others. It is a good time to compete for a spot under the sun. Pig recommends using the old proven method, divide and impera. If the dragon is not sure whether he will be able to surpass the competitor in everything, you can try doing it step by step. The main thing is to set goals that will be as ambitious as possible, because in the future the foundation established during this period will serve as a support in upcoming periods. For those dragons who do not have their own business, the patron of 2019 recommends finding your true calling and finally settling on an area to concentrate your efforts. This cycle is good in terms of a large number of prospects and the ability to choose almost any of them. There is no one to be embarrassed by the fact that the dragon can make a choice in favor of a sphere that he has zero competence in. For example, you are a lawyer, but you want to work as a doctor. The situation is a bit exaggerated, but the pig will prove that nothing is impossible in 2019. This time is not for risks, but for deliberate decisions that will predetermine the fate of both the dragon himself and his loved ones in many ways. Talking of the loved ones, 2019 for the representatives of your sign will have its own nuances. First, you should not stress too much over anything, as almost any conflict that took place in your family will resolve itself in the near future. And if the dragon really wants to participate, he can speed up the process, but the main thing is to carefully filter your own words to avoid hurting someone. On the other hand, there are no restrictions on the love front for the dragons. If you want to strengthen relationships, go ahead and just take a step in this direction. If you want to part with your sweetheart for a better relationship with someone else, it at least looks like a better one, there are also no problems. Some dragons will finally make the decision to marry someone, and some will make some smaller, but equally important, decisions. The period of the pig's year is good because even the most difficult steps will have a minimum of negative consequences, or, most likely, will be entirely free of them, so it is the best time to decide on anything. In a year protected by the pig, which embodies the energy of yin and represents the element of water, people born under the sign of a snake will have to perform an act, and perhaps more than one, that someone rightfully can call a real deed. The snake represents the sign of fire, which is the antagonistic element of the patroness of 2019. On the other hand, snake is in the second triangle of the Eastern Zodiac horoscope, congruent to the fourth triangle that the pig belongs to. As a result, we observe times of victories and fateful decisions, and times of maximum concentration of strength and will. In other words, the period will indeed turn out to be interesting, and often the circumstances will be entirely on the side of the snake. Representatives of your zodiac sign will be supported, sometimes even by their darkest enemies, but you will always make a decision yourself. In addition, you will start acting, which makes this cycle especially meaningful. From a financial standpoint, 2019 will probably be one of the most successful stages of the last 5 to 7 years. Now many efforts and investments will pay back in much bigger quantities, and these paybacks will be quite unexpected. You can do literally anything with these tools, there will be no wrong option. By the way, Pig recommends dividing the unexpected profit exactly in half and spending this on a quality vacation with your loved ones by your side. You can, for example, organize yourself an unplanned vacation and indulge yourself in some exotic country. Or you can just rent a house on the shore of a lake for a week and fish in silence. Snakes are each quite different and everything depends on personal preferences. As for the second half of the funds, the year 2019 can be extremely successful in terms of investments. Usually your sign is not particularly lucky with finances as Snake can earn and save, but has no clue on how to manage his assets well. Often this is not a problem, because due to this zodiac sign's communicative skills and kindness, there is always friends or loved ones who can easily help. The main thing is to make a thoughtful choice. However, in the year of the pig, the snake should do everything himself. This is not a problem since it is certain at such a moment, and the snake itself will understand this instinctively. When you invest in something, it will become very profitable. It can be something like investments in personal business or some external investments. Preferably the first option, but here it is already necessary to look at the particulars of a situation. Snakes who have their own business can generate many fundamentally new ideas. Pig recommends contemplating them during the first 3 to 4 months, and then proceed making them true in real life. This is a good time to conclude new agreements and major acquisitions. Here you cannot be shy in terms of ambitions, and you should act aggressively. The snake is not the luckiest sign of the Chinese zodiac and usually relies on its instincts and innate wisdom that is backed by a powerful and sharp intelligence. Now you can take a chance. Make a thoughtful and yet quite deliberate step to get something amazing. Perhaps this will be one of those deeds that will be remembered for many more years to come. Who exactly will remember, colleagues or competitors? It is up to the snake to decide. In addition, many things depend on the specifics of your work. Personal matters will move on to supporting roles, but nothing terrible or negative will happen because of it. Close relatives will understand everything, especially taking into account that during the first months of 2019 the snake will perform a certain act that will radically change the atmosphere within their families. It will change for the rest of their lives. It is difficult to foresee what exactly it will look like. The zodiac can only advise the snake to keep yourself engaged and not to distance himself from those who are dear under any circumstances. Despite all the dynamics, this is a kind and sincere time with many moments that you do not need to think about. You should just go ahead and appreciate it. For the horse who represents the element of fire, the 2019 peak will be unstable but still a positive and memorable period. For representatives of the horse zodiac sign, the year of the pig has prepared many interesting situations. Moreover, the outcomes of those situations will largely determine your future fate. It means that in spite of favorable circumstances, the horse must never lose his head and never rely on blind luck. A horse is a very dynamic and very communicative sign, and as 2019 corresponds to the element of water that is antagonistic to the horse's element of fire, this will only give the period even more momentum. The pig recommends taking on any project that generates any interest in a horse. Any situation that attracted the attention of representatives of your zodiac sign should be evaluated and resolved in case of need. If you need help, it will come, and sometimes from the direction you never expected it to come. This is partly why the year of the pig will bring those memorable moments to the horses. Horses that have their own business can expect the stability that you have been dreaming of for a while. Slow and confident progress is what others will observe. The very same horse sign representative will have to make a number of decisions that will be fateful not just for her. If there is a desire to radically change something in the work process, do not do it in an aggressive and impulsive manner. In addition, it's better not to make a decision all by yourself. Unlike some other signs, the horse must now react in the most sensitive manner to the opinions and situations of others. This is the year of the pig's path to success. If the horse does not have a personal venture, the year of the pig will be ideal for changing the current state of affairs. The main thing is that you do not have to doubt yourself or others. The first months of the year will clearly demonstrate to the horse that there are a lot of people around who you can rely on. Of course, a spoon looks the best during dinner. Trust only makes sense when there really is something to trust. In addition, in no case should you try to verify the sincerity of those you are planning to work with, otherwise the trick will be revealed and all plans will collapse. Some horses with families will change their place of residence, but it is not clear what will be standing behind that decision. It might be something related to changing your place of work or having some addition to your family. In any case, the horse has to make an important decision that will objectively affect not only his personal life. Pig also recommends spending more time with your friends, but do so in a moderate way without over-investing emotionally, as representatives of your zodiac sign will need all the inner strength and concentration for solving pressing daily problems. If we are talking about the single horses, they should not force any events under any circumstances. The pig itself will push the person towards them whom the horse needs the most in his life. If such a person is not found nearby, circumstances can develop in such a way that the horse will temporarily change his address for some not yet clear reason, such as work, study, or elsewise. In any case, representatives of your zodiac sign are waiting for external changes that are inevitably followed by internal changes. You need to take them without fear and with maximum enthusiasm, because the result promises to be unforgettable. In terms of health, horses in 2019 are recommended to take care of their nervous systems because this is your weakness during the current cycle. In order to do this, you need to avoid overworking yourself, stay away from stress, and try to avoid becoming a participant in conflicts. Otherwise, there are no restrictions, especially since the pig promises inner peace in the second half of 2019. The goat refers to the elements of the earth and is in the fourth triangle of the Chinese Zodiac, where the patron of this year, the pig, is also located. In the year of the pig, people born under the sign of goat will take an important, significant position and will literally become an example to follow for a lot of people. Actually, the pig advises them to achieve this position because the sincerity and responsiveness of the goat will gain a miraculous power during this cycle, and goats will be capable of changing the fate of others by their presence. And circumstances themselves will develop in such a way that the goat will be able to combine the pleasant with the useful. For example, the goat will be able to travel to places that it has wanted to visit for a long time and will get better results on all life's fronts. From a financial standpoint, the 2019 will be quite predictable for the goats. In the first months, luck will loom around the corner, and then suddenly cross the path of representatives of your zodiac sign. In other words, it is better to realize as many plans as possible at the beginning of the year in order to enjoy their results later. As it is not difficult to guess, the choice should be made in favor of those projects that are designed to gain some profit in the very near future. This is now true for almost all signs of the Chinese horoscope, but there is one peculiarity that should be taken into account by the goats, and this is about avoiding any helpers because you simply don't need their help. If the goat has a private business, it is recommended to go ahead in the direction of new trends, treating everything with caution and the ability to think creatively. This means that the extraordinary approach will turn out to be the most successful one in most cases, and the disputable situations should not be treated hastily. It is better to begin initiating the changes from the bottom. For example, it is worth starting with the upgrading of the skills of low-level workers, and then expand or reorganize the departments. Now we need to base ourselves not on the results but on the opportunities. Although nobody has lost ambition, the more definite and concrete the business project is, the faster and more successful it will be. If we are talking about the representative of your zodiacal sign who works for someone else, 2019 will bring many opportunities for self-actualization. You should not be trying to fool anybody but try to work on your skills in order to improve them in the best ways possible. Also this year, the goats should not refuse to attend any corporate events, as they will not only give food for thought, but will also help you to understand many concepts that will support achievement of the things planned for the future. For goats with families, 2019 will be successful and calm enough, despite the fact that all sorts of thunderstorms and snowstorms can rage outside the window. This means that in 2019, representatives of your zodiac sign should not react to any large-scale trends and be cautious about the advice of neighbors and other people with whom you seem to be familiar, but not close enough to call them friends. It is better to gather with your loved ones to independently and calmly solve any problem that might emerge during this time. Here, the experience of older generations will come to the rescue. If goat will take the side of the older generations, then they need to concentrate and just remember. The situation will tell exactly what needs to be remembered, and Pig says that the best solution is somewhere in the archives of personal experience. Many single representatives of the zodiac sign of the goat will find their soulmate during the year of the pig, and this can even be done on purpose. You can definitely start looking out for that soulmate. Get out with friends as often as possible, do not push away new acquaintances, be open for new contacts. This time does not oblige go to anything, but it gives an opportunity to open up, be yourself and simultaneously attract people with different goals. This is a good and fruitful time which predicts a minimum of anxiety and maximum of care in all its manifestations. The sign of the Eastern horoscope monkey refers to the elements of metal. This is the first triangle of the Chinese Zodiac system and represents the energy of Yang. In the year of the pig that is protected by the elements of water, the representatives of the monkey zodiac sign will confidently accept the challenges offered by fate and will come victoriously out of all the battles that are headed in their direction. It is a time of self-realization, a period of successes and achievements which are fairly described as life-affirming. There will be many events and many acquaintances, long cycles of activity will alternate with short-term vacations, but rightfully, the monkey will not relax. In this cycle, your resourcefulness and curiosity will play well and will allow you to surpass competitors and ill-wishers on all fronts. From the financial point of view, 2019 will not be the same as the representatives of your zodiac sign had earlier expected. This year will surpass all expectations. Monkeys will earn more, projects will bring a good income, and everything will develop in your favor. However, this will not be because of a lucky coincidence, although, to be honest, fate will be on the side of the monkeys beyond any doubt. Of fundamental importance is the efficiency of the representatives of your zodiac sign, as well as the ability to fight and win, and find an innovative approach to solving the problem. Now you need to focus on yourself, on your goals and your methods. Let the others act as they want, and monkeys should invest in those areas that you have identified for yourself as the most promising ones. If the monkey has his own business, then in the year of the pig you can let everything go a little. Total control is not required, but everything will be in order with some discipline applied. It is important only to pay attention to how the colleagues and, more importantly, your nearest competitors are feeling themselves. Perhaps some of them may need help. You read it right, this period is all about the unexpected nobility, which will inevitably result in new achievements for the monkeys. And you will also get new friends and earn fame. The main thing is not to lose interest in what is happening around you. For monkeys who do not have their own business, 2019 will not be so dynamic, but definitely not any less promising. Here it is necessary to focus on one's own state and ability to respond quickly to changing circumstances. Do you want to change your department or career? There are no problems with that, only be sure the soil for that is prepared in advance. This is a good time for a change, but it should be thoughtful, not spontaneous. Fortunately, monkey is a very flexible and competitive sign, therefore in the upcoming race you have many more chances than the others. Here pig recommends not resisting the initiatives of the leadership in any case, as from them one can get an unexpected but significant benefit, including the one related to your work in future. The monkey in 2019 is waiting for a pleasant surprise related to his family life. And some important, but indirect, changes are quite likely to take place during this period. Perhaps a distant relative will now live nearby, or someone from your close friends will change his social status. Changes will be for the better, and they should not be resisted at all. You should let certain events proceed independently as your instincts are telling you to do. However, let us repeat one more time again, the more the monkey hears and sees, the more opportunities might emerge. You should decide what to do with those opportunities. Let us just note that this is a great time for creating a strong family. If there is no such desire, then you can just enjoy life without one. Zodiac sign Rooster is the element of metal and in the second triangle of the Chinese horoscope. The rooster usually has a fairly neutral relationship with the patron of the year, but Yin's energy, which includes both rooster and pig, will help them get along during this cycle. As a result, representatives of your zodiac sign will have a lot of opportunities for self-realization, although it should be noted that this period will be especially good not for personal but public benefit. Decisiveness and tidiness of the rooster will serve as a good example, and you can lead people, even if not explicitly, helping them take on previously unattainable frontiers. From the financial point of view, the 2019 will be very positive for the roosters. The main thing is to avoid unnecessary risk and not to act without looking back. Representatives of your zodiac sign need to assess the consequences of all their actions clearly, otherwise there may be some unforeseen side effects. At the same time, Rooster can now invest in almost any direction. It can be something like the beginning or development of your own business, and literally any investment projects from housing construction up to space programs. Objectively, the scope of the Rooster will now be limited only by his own ambitions. For those who have their own business, this is a particularly promising time when it is necessary to take on their innate accuracy and perfectionism. However, conservatism should definitely be rejected. It will not allow your business to make a powerful leap forward that will be of conceptual importance during this year. Since the second triangle corresponding to the Rooster is synergistic with the fourth triangle to which the pig belongs, those representatives of your zodiac sign who do not have their own business will definitely be lucky in 2019. You just need to want to change something in the world around you. Strictly speaking, the circumstances themselves will lead to the necessary decisions. You will only have to take these decisions and implement them. Do not be afraid of responsibility, and do not forget that human capabilities in most cases significantly exceed our ideas about them. In other words, the Rooster can overwork in case of necessity. Diligence does not belong to your basic qualities, but your sign knows how to act with maximum efficiency. Now that this is the needed quality, there is a chance to achieve total success in some important project and get to a new place. From the point of view of personal relationships, 2019 will prove no less interesting for the representatives of the Chinese Zodiac sign Rooster. For the family, this period will be fairly calm but not without surprises. It is likely that not everything will go according to plan, but very soon you will understand that this is only a trend of the time, and not due to miscalculation. Moreover, nothing in your family life will be overly negative, which means that you can relax and pay attention to relatives. Moreover, relatives will demand most of the attention to be directed on them. The interaction between generations is especially important for the Rooster. The older generation is encouraged to show restraint, and the younger one should exhibit perseverance. In the personal relationship of the Rooster in the year of the pig, there is no need to look out for adventures. The pig, the patron of this year's cycle, will take care of the state of mind of the representatives of your zodiac sign. Potential changes are possible, and for some, this stage will become a gateway. The first option is that the Rooster will quite likely run into his destiny, and the only recommendation is to stay true to yourself under any circumstances. If no significant events have occurred, it means that the time has not yet come. This is an excellent opportunity to enjoy life because such a bright and positive time is created for a full rest in the circle of those who really appreciate you. The dog, being the representative of the elements of the earth and in the third triangle of the Chinese Zodiac, will be able to realize his plans fully in 2019. Patron of this period, the pig, refers to the element of water, which literally nourishes the earth, giving it a plenty of energy and possibilities. Therefore, people born in the year of the dog can set the bar as high as possible during this period. Now, the unique features of the dog, such as loyalty and friendliness, come to the forefront. Almost all successful options will be related to cooperation in one way or another. That is, it will be necessary to attract relatives, friends, colleagues, and, perhaps, competitors, to your side. Who exactly you should attract will depend on the situation. On the other hand, if there are a desire and a clear plan, the result is unambiguously predictable. And it will be positive. For dogs owning their personal business, the 2019 pig will seem to be an incredibly dynamic period, although the majority of the events will not really affect you. This means that you do not need to rush and disperse your attention. The pig recommends focusing on previously set goals and moving confidently towards them with the greatest possible speed. This period will also be successful because the dog will receive an unexpected ally in the first months of the year. Where he comes from and what can help with the pig does not explain, but the representatives of your zodiacal sign will unambiguously understand who we are talking about. It is important to listen to the words of this person, but to act on your own preferences. Now do not be afraid of meaningful changes, but you also do not need to rush into them either. The dog does not have to take risks, even at such a good time. If the representatives of your zodiac sign do not have their own business, then in 2019 you can establish it or improve your career position. For this, Pig recommends finding the most non-standard way to solve an actual problem, or better, several problems at once. The dog may well try himself in some new sphere, and the main thing is to do this while not harming or putting the basic work functions at risk. Success is luck, and professional skills and perseverance have not been negated. Now it will be good to work hard during the first half of 2019 in order to gain some benefits during the second half. Rest is also better planned for the end of summer or start of autumn, for the dog in this period will be characterized by maximum relaxation, while winter and spring will be the most dynamic. The pig also recommends learning from others, and if there are doubts, it will not be bad to ask for advice. From the point of view of personal relationships, much can change not only for the dog but also for others during the year of the pig. You will probably have to decide on something during the first months of 2019, and that decision will literally affect the rest of your life. But this is a positive paradigm that will inspire new colors in the world around you, and help you to see what is really important and what just seemed to be so. Dogs should not stay away from new acquaintances, even if at first glance they seem questionable. A dog is a direct and honest sign, and you will not lose anything just by talking to someone. The main thing is not to rush with promises and confessions. This time is dynamic in everything except for the affairs of the heart. On the other hand, if everything is done correctly, you can find a new muse, or a number of muses, to not just enjoy one another's presence, but also find an incentive for personal growth. Dogs with families will have to solve several conceptually important problems in 2019. It is unlikely that there will be any fundamental difficulties, but in no case should you overlook the things that household members say. Pig recommends spending time with your family more often. Although this time is characterized by increased dynamics, it is not necessary to travel and drag out relatives anywhere. It all depends on the mood of the dog itself and his relationships with loved ones. By the way, the second half of the year is ideal in order to further establish and make these relationships warmer and more sincere. The sensuality and inner peace that characterizes all dogs will help in this. How successful is the year of 2019 under the patronage of a pig for a pig? Obviously, the representatives of your Chinese Zodiac sign during the year of the pig 2019 will have special advantages. Representatives of the Eastern Zodiacal sign pig are usually honest and brave people, with strong character and the ability to effectively combine thoughtfulness and swiftness in sudden impulses. Pigs will enter the fateful period of their lives in 2019. It is difficult to say how long this period will last, but it will begin with the arrival of this cycle. It will be a time of gradual but clear changes that will eventually affect all areas of your life. This means that any conservative tendencies should remain in the past, as in this period it is necessary to become mobile and open up to any trends. In terms of finances in 2019, the pig can successfully invest money and can start saving money in order to accumulate such investments. In certain situations, it will be fair to take risks, and at some moments one should not go on about the thirst for momentary gains under any circumstances. In order not to be mistaken, the pig should always remain in sight of friends or well-trusted colleagues. You do not need to hurry into investing your money into deposits, but as you know, money does not like sit idly. Those representatives of your zodiacal sign who have their own business will hardly face any significant problems with this. It is likely that in the first months of the year pig they will receive some new stimulus and unexpectedly open a new path, or direction, for their work. In these initial months, it is fair to take advantage of any given opportunity, as pig has to start dealing with the results of his investments by the middle of 2019. If the representatives of your zodiac sign do not have time, you will have to leave it, as the current cycle cannot handle any type of procrastination. Moreover, new opportunities will not wait long. The year 2019 will be much more dynamic for those pigs who do not have their own business. Such people constantly have to solve problems, and largely those that were set by the leadership for someone else. However, it will be wrong to refuse helping. First, pig will have the opportunity to help others, and secondly, will enjoy the process of helping. Of course, there is also a third aspect. Successfully resolved cases are sure to pay back to representatives of your zodiac sign in the future. In addition, there is no need to try to deliberately attract your leadership's attention, as they will notice everything themselves and make the right conclusions. If by the middle of the year the fruitful activity of the pig does not give its results, the issue can be solved in the most cardinal way. For example, if you may change your place of work or open your business. Of course, you cannot do this without preliminary preparation, and it is very undesirable to do it all by yourself. You have more allies than you think, and 2019 will prove it to you once and for all. In the sphere of personal relationships, the year of the pig will be ambiguous for the pig representatives, but it will pass under the protection of personal progress and some obvious victories in love. This means that the pig will not necessarily find a soulmate, but will receive exceptional pleasure from the search. Pigs without soulmates will now be in the most favorable position. They just need not stay away from friends who will constantly pull you out somewhere. You need to pay attention to your stomach as the digestive system will be most vulnerable in 2019. However, food poisoning and other illnesses are quite easy to avoid. You just need to avoid disturbing the regime of the day and resist trying anything exotic, even when taking a vacation in some exotic country like Thailand. By the way, as for rest, it is better to spend this time with family. This especially it concerns those representatives of the sign who have recently found his life companion. Quite possibly you will experience some fate-defining surprise. On the other hand, there is nothing that can prevent you from making yourself a source of such surprise. After all, the year of 2019 under the patronage of the pig is perfect for bringing joy to others.